So there's nothing I would rather be than a National Geographic explorer, and I'll tell you why. Coming from a family of explorers and growing up traveling all over the world, and I learned to dive with my grandfather when I was 7 years old. I got to go snorkeling in tide pools. I've gone swimming with dolphins and diving with whales, and I've made films about sharks in Tahiti, and all of these things are it's like Christmas every day. There's nothing more exciting than being able to go out and seeing a wild place or a wild creature or a new kind of culture or food. The smell of every new place is always a revelation, and you learn so much, and you're free. You're free to explore anything you want and to talk about anything you want with anybody, because that's your job. Your job is to explore the unknown and to bring those stories back and share them with your friends and your family and people who are excited and inspired by what you do.
I'm probably best known for having discovered the Ice Maiden. This is on a mountain summit about over 20,000 feet high. An Inca child that had been sacrificed, but later we returned and found several more mummies, and then eventually on some other mountains, including up to 22,000 feet on the Argentine border, we found 3 perfectly preserved Inca mummies. Probably the things that most excited me for discoveries weren't so much the mummies per se, but what they told us about the past, because they were so well preserved. The point that I realized just how important the discovery of the Ice Maiden was the moment I saw her face. Realized then that it was indeed a mummy, because we weren't 100% sure what was inside this kind of a dusty-covered bundle, an ice-covered bundle. And my companion, Miguel Zarate, turned it on its side to get a better grip on it to try and lift it up. And all of a sudden we saw this face of this Inca mummy staring at us. But in a way it was tinged with disappointment because the face had dried. And the real moment came when we tried to lift the mummy and realized that it weighed nearly 100 pounds. And that meant that the body itself was frozen. So even though the face had been exposed and dried out, the rest of the body probably was frozen. Now what that means is that we were not only going to get all the textiles and all the other things in context. This is the key thing for archaeology. But we were also going to be able to get DNA studies. And I knew that she was a she.
The best part of my job is that you never know what you're going to find. It's the joy of discovery. It's finding not just new things, but new ideas to begin to connect the dots. When you spend a lot of time actually in the ocean, as I do, after a while you begin to see things that you might have missed the first time, but over a period of hours, days, weeks, years, you really begin to understand something about how systems work. You get to see the behavior of fish. It's not just a fish that swims by, but a fish that has a life. And trying to understand how they spend their days and nights, how long it takes for them to grow. I think the best part is just the excitement of discovery. It's something anybody can do, everybody should do, to look around, see the natural world, and try to understand not only how it works, but where do we fit in to the systems that keep us alive.